Hello, and welcome to Yoga with Helen. This is a 28-minute grounding, gentle flow that gives you options to intensify poses. Here we will focus on hips, back, and legs with a playful approach to feeling the energy from our periphery to the center of our bodies. We'll be working with a strap today, just folding it in half and having it next to your mat. And when we need it, we'll use it. Just coming down onto your back, gently feeling the entire body come onto your mat and sinking into your mat. Taking a nice deep breath in. Inhale, exhale deeply. And feel supported by the earth and everything around you. Feeling completely relaxed. And take 1 or 2 more breaths here. Taking hold of the strap. So you want to hold it evenly and raise the hands so that your hands are above your shoulders and you're feeling a gentle pull on the strap. And just take a minute here to rest and bring both feet flat on the mat so your knees are bent. And then bringing the hands overhead. And that is our neutral starting position. Just gently bringing the hands back behind you so the arms are beside the ears any amount. And we'll move the hands forward and back. And just practicing bringing the hands back behind you and then coming back up to that neutral position. Inhale. And then exhale as you bring your hands back over your shoulders. And then from here, we'll add the foot. So flexing the foot and bringing the right heel onto the mat, bringing the hands behind you, arms behind you, and then inhale the hands towards the knee. Exhale, bring everything down. Inhale, bringing everything in. And keep on moving in this fashion, hands coming towards the knee, feeling the navel come in towards the spine. And then if you want a little bit more, you can always bring your leg to straight and move in the same motion. But you can always keep your knee bent as well. And do as many as feel comfortable. Eventually switching sides, just taking a moment to rest. You can put the strap on your belly and extend the arms wide in a T. Take a nice deep breath in and just rest. And then shifting the weight onto the right foot and lifting the hands overhead behind you, pressing into the left heel. Then inhale the knee in towards the hands, squeezing the abs, and exhale away. Moving in the same way we did on the other side, breathing and feeling the lower back come onto the mat every time you squeeze in. And then eventually, if you did on the other side, bringing the leg to straight and pulling the arms towards the knee any amount. And repeating this a few times as you did on the other side. Good. And then when you feel complete, just bringing that foot back onto the mat and putting this strap onto the floor beside you. Just take a nice deep cleansing breath here through your belly. Exhale everything out. And then from here, we'll come into an X. So bringing your arms out into a V and your feet and legs out into a V. We'll gently lift our opposite foot and arm up. So inhale, left foot up and right arm up. Extend and then release. And inhale, left foot, right arm, and then release. Feeling the periphery come up to the center and then release it down. Good. Take a nice deep breath. And now inhale, right foot up, left arm up. Then again, Right foot, left arm up, feeling the energy come from the periphery into the center, squeezing the navel up as both of your arm and your leg go up. Good. And then just bringing the legs back into the center of the mat. The hands go overhead, the arms go overhead, taking a nice full body stretch. Just bringing the right knee into your chest, taking the hand underneath the right calf and rolling the knee in some circles here. Breathe deeply here through the hip opening, flexing the right foot, and then take the circles in the opposite direction. Good. And then bring that knee into the chest. Inhale deeply. Exhale. And press through the heel and gently bring the leg up. You can take hold of the shin or the outer edge of the foot, coming into half happy baby, bringing that knee, the right knee, in towards the right armpit. Left hand can be on your left hip. Just interlacing the hands behind that left thigh and pointing, flexing the foot, and then eventually bringing the right leg down. We'll do the same on the other side. So inhale the left knee in towards your chest. You can put your right hand on your hip. Take some knee circles, rolling the knee around in a circle, feeling the hip joint lubricate. And then take your circles in the opposite direction. And when you feel complete, interlacing the hands behind that left knee and pulling the knee in towards your chest and taking hold of the left shin or outer edge of the left foot and pulling that knee in towards your armpit, coming into half happy baby on this side. And flexing through both feet. Then eventually bringing that left leg to straight, hands interlaced behind your knee, and flex the foot. And then extend that leg down, coming back onto the mat and just descending onto the mat. Breathe, and then set the feet on the mat, bending the knees. We'll come into pigeon. So bringing the left foot onto the right knee. You can stay here with your hand holding your ankle and your other hand pressing into that knee opposite. Or you can bring both hands behind the thigh and pull the thigh in towards you. And then if you want a little bit more, you can always extend the right leg to long. Feeling both shoulders onto the mat. Nice long neck, chin lifted. Then gently bring the foot back down. Put both arms out into a T and we'll move into a supine twist. So taking the knees over towards the left with your left foot on top of your right knee. If that's too much, you can always bring the left foot off of the knee and just do a traditional supine twist. Perhaps your head turns in the opposite direction from your knees and feeling the whole spine spiral and twist as you breathe. And then coming out of the pose, we'll move on to pigeon on the other side. So bringing that right ankle onto the left knee and pressing the hand into the knee and the other opposite hand into the foot, feeling that first, and that's level 1. Or if you want a little bit more, take the hands behind the left thigh and pull that knee in towards your chest, feeling the opening in the right hip. And if you did on the other side, just extending the left leg long. And then gently coming out of that, and we'll move into the supine twist again on this side. So extending the arms into a T and bringing the knee over to the right. So your right ankle's on that left knee. If that's okay for you, keep it there. You can take that foot off your knee and just rest it down if that works better for your body. Good, and then just bringing the knees back up. Putting the knees together, taking a nice deep breath in. Your feet can go as wide as your mat. Just take a nice deep breath through your belly. Exhale all the air out. Crossing the hands over the chest to hold on to the ribs. Right hand on left rib, left hand on right rib. And just take some nice deep breaths here, holding yourself, feeling the ribs go wide, the collarbones go wide as you inhale and exhale. And feeling that energy come from the periphery to the center of your body. Good. Just bringing your knees into your chest. Inhale deeply. Extend your arms and legs wide. Take a nice deep breath in. And then exhale everything open. One more time, taking the hands over the top of the knees this time. Then gently rolling up. And taking a couple rolls on your back with your knees into your chest. And then bringing the knees into the chest, rolling onto your side. And then slowly come up to tabletop position, just finding your knees underneath your hips and your hands underneath your shoulders. Make sure you're grounded completely here in this pose. And then taking some cat-cows. So inhaling the chest forward, curling the pelvis back, and then inhaling the navel in towards the spine, Halloween cat, and then moving and flowing back to cow and cat, taking your time, finding your own rhythm as you flow from cat to cow, breathing steadily. Bringing the hands out in front a little bit, we'll move into some hip circles. So making the hip circles as wide as you feel necessary. Or maybe the hip circles are a little shorter. Just breathing, feeling motion and lubrication in the hips, taking the hips circles in the opposite direction. Then eventually coming back to center, to puppy dog pose. So extending the hands out long, bringing the chest and head on towards the mat, keeping the hips high, finding puppy dog pose. This is a really nice release for the upper back. Just breathing into the shoulders. Just coming back to table for a moment. Walking the fingers out a little bit from front and pressing into the toes and bringing the hips up for downward facing dog. Finding that nice, beautiful V shape, pressing the big thigh bones back in space, feeling extension through the hands and the legs, upper shoulders moving in towards your ears, walking the fingertips all the way to the feet. Flowing through chair with your hips back, and then slowly press into the floor, coming to stand in Tadasana pose. Bringing your hands to your heart center. So just taking hold of your strap folded in half, feeling that same evenness that we did at the beginning of the practice. So you're holding your strap about shoulders width apart. Inhale the hands overhead. Extend long. And we'll take a side bend. And as you do this, feel the hands pull away from one another. And then coming back to center, and then move to the opposite side. And then coming back to center. We'll do a little back bend. So pulling the strap behind you any amount, heart lifted, then come back to center. And then bringing the strap behind you. So you're holding the strap evenly and pulling on the strap. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, forward fold, and then bring the strap over your back any amount. And then slowly come back up, using the strap to pull you back up to stand. Come to the top of the mat. We'll move into Warrior One pose. So you're holding onto the strap at your side, and then taking the left foot back and putting the weight on the right foot, finding your Warrior One pose, bending deeply into that right knee, and then holding the strap as we did in the last pose, evenly between both shoulders. Inhale the hands up overhead. Finding Warrior One and pulling the strap apart just a little bit. And then you can take a little side bend if that feels right to you, moving towards the right, using the strap as leverage, get deeper into your bend. And then coming back to center and slowly releasing, bringing the strap into your hand and switching feet. So coming back to the mat in Tadasana, hands on your hips. And then bring the right foot back, holding the strap up as we did on the other side. Inhale. The left foot in front, knee bent, strong, proud Warrior One. Breathing into that pose. Eventually coming into that side bend towards the left, pulling on the strap. Feel the whole extension in your right side body. And then coming back to center, bring the strap down, hands on your hips, come back to Tadasana at the top of the mat. Bringing the arms alongside your body. We'll move into Warrior Two. So hands on your hips. The left foot steps back. So now the back foot is more parallel with the short end of the mat. Both hands float in line with the ankles. Then take hold of the strap, finding warrior two. Just leaning back gently into peaceful warrior. So you're pulling onto the strap and bringing the left hand back in space and feeling the side bend all the way on the right side of your body. And your right leg is bent deeply, using that right hip as your pivot point, and then extending the arms back overhead, putting the strap to the side, and then taking the stance back onto Tadasana. Let's get ready for the other side. So now, coming to the other side, I'm just going to walk to the other side of the mat so you guys can see me better. I'm taking hold of the strap. And then the opposite foot steps back in space. So left foot's pointed forward, right foot back in space. Then inhaling the strap overhead and finding warrior two. Holding the strap, pressing evenly between both the feet, feeling long and even between both the side waist. As we did on the other side, we'll move into peaceful warrior. Moving the back hand back towards you, finding the whole stretch on the left side of the body, having that left knee bent a lot. And then slowly come out of the pose, bringing the strap back into your hand, coming back to the top of the mat for Tadasana. Then we can put the strap on the floor and just do a few finishing standing poses. And so coming to the top of your mat, moving into chair pose, bending the knees deeply, sweeping the arms alongside the ears, pressing the navel in towards the spine. Prayer twist, bringing your hands into prayer and hooking the elbow into the knee. And then bringing the arms out wide, press back in towards the hips, and then inhale the hands out in front of you, interlace the fingers, push the fingers away from you. Bring the hands back onto the hips, and then forward fold. So your hands can come onto your shins or the floor. Inhale halfway up, exhale, fold. And then slowly coming back into that chair pose with the arms alongside the ears. Hands come into prayer, and let's take that twist on the opposite side. So hooking that elbow into the knee and the knee into the elbow. We'll just gently cat-cow, putting your hands on your thighs and curling the chest forward and inhaling the navel in towards the spine. Just coming down, bringing the hands down, bringing one knee down and the other knee down to the mat. And just sit back in hero's pose for a moment. And we'll transition to a variation of child's pose. So bringing the hips, the seat back onto the heels and interlacing the hands behind you. Inhale to lengthen and then exhale, forward fold, coming into that child's pose, and taking the hands and wrists overhead any amount. And slowly come out of the pose, bringing the hands back in front of you. And then slowly come up. And then let's just come on to our seat. Just bringing the feet flat on the floor, knees bent, and bringing your hands onto your shins. Inhale to lengthen, exhale, fold, and bringing your torso onto your thighs and rolling your head on top of your knees, extending the arms long. Slowly descend into Shavasana. And just letting go. This is your time to just absorb your practice and taking in all the hard work you just did. This practice today was inspired by the idea of the energy coming from the periphery into the center of your body, very much like Van Gogh painting Starry, Starry Night. This is a quote from Van Gogh. I experience a period of frightening clarity in the moments when nature is so beautiful. I am no longer sure of myself, and the paintings appear as in a dream. Slowly coming out of your Shavasana, bringing the feet flat onto the floor, bringing the knees into the chest, and then rolling on your side. And take a moment here again to reset. And then slowly push the floor away, coming up into a seated pose. And namaste, and remembering that yoga is the fullness of life. Thank you for joining me today.